say how I feel, cause I know that it's something real. Gonna say how I feel, cause I know that it's something real. Hey, hey. Gonna say how I feel, cause I know that it's something real.
Good evening, everybody. Hello and welcome to the party. Oh my gosh. Angie, you're poor. Whoa. Oh, lordy girl. Lordy, lordy, lordy. That red and that purple. Woo. Did you see the two dancers? And the emojis are in red and purple? Yeah, that was pretty cool. So let's see. I have to turn my sound probably up because I turned it way down today. I was getting echoes for something. I'm still audio working on that. So I saw there's some new people. So I'm going to introduce myself. Hi, everybody. Welcome to KeyPen IT Reel, Story in Art and the Art in Story. Oh my gosh. I'm Gretchen Shepherd. I'm originally a photographer. This is where I meant to start this channel was for my photography, and also because I was learning eCam, which is all the stuff that gives me the outlines, the whole things and stuff. Well, it kind of morphed into, we can all blame Angie, because one night, long, long ago, she did something that looked like a starfish, and I ended up pulling up one of my starfish photos, and then from there I had a story or something that went with, and if you can see this, KeyPen IT Reel log, page 10. Okay, I can go back to all the different things. We did Wildlife Wednesday on animal totems for number 14. Oh my gosh. Then on Thanksgiving night, I had tryptophan wine and sugar thoughts. That was pretty funny. Figuring it out at a snail's pace kind of things. But yeah, so we did all kinds of wonderful ideas. And that's kind of how it started and morphed into this, from going from doing things in my photography to and then these wonderful folks living through my post-op ramble of my knee replacement and just all kinds of things. And then Christmas time came and I had all kinds of Christmas stories to read. So that's what happened. So I've never really kept a log of anything this officially, unless it was some old, when I was still doing film, and then I kept meticulous of stuff. But let's check in with everybody here. So Angie's here. Deidre's here. Yes, Angie's pour was gorgeous today. And her vulnerability that she put out there about how art works as therapy for us is pretty amazing. One of the things I did at the beginning of COVID, when the shutdown first happened, I was so frustrated and I was angry and frustrated. And my trip to Botswana that I had been planning for ages to go photograph elephants and the big five, and I had saved up and I had it completely paid for, my flight and everything. And I still haven't gone. And that was for 2020. And so I sat down and deleted 20,000 photographs. Reject. That's very therapeutic. Deirdre's here. Let's see. Joanne's here. And Angie. Let's see who else. Oh, Joanne said she sat around all being very lazy for the last 2 days. That's very therapeutic. Good for you. Mama Doulas, thank you. Welcome. Come for here. Oh, yay. Angie, oh my goodness, it's good to have you here. Joanne's here. Gloria's here. Hi, Gloria. Everybody. Oh, Nathan is here with the fine art of distraction. I love that name. I just love it. And so tonight and tomorrow night, we're going down under Australia. Tonight we're starting with One by Marcia Vaughan, who is a Northwest. Actually, she was born in Tacoma, and just across the bridge from me. And so she's a local Northwest author, and I met her, and the book I have is a signed copy. Do I not have signed copies of most of my books that I read? Yes. I'm kind of a junkie that way, you know. Groupie is a better word. Groupie. Yeah. Didn't sound so great. I've already had a glass of wine. Should know better. Anyway, and then, but the illustrator is Pamela Lofts, and she is from Australia. And it's a great book. But so tonight and tomorrow night, we're going to go down under. Tomorrow night, we're going to add some drawing and sketching and some things afterwards. Tonight, I have a board meeting at 7 for Two Waters Arts Alliance. And since I missed the last board meeting, I better go. It's on Zoom. Not a problem. Joanne, yay. I'm going to end my evening watching everybody's I can't hear you. You can't hear me? Okay. So she can't hear me. Please tell me you can hear me. Now let me see. Sound output. Is that better? We'll see how that is. Sound preferences, output. Yes, and input is that. So, all right, we're going to go for it. Me and my sound. I've had just a half a glass, and then Bob made smothered pig for dinner, which is really the only way to make pork chops and have them still stay moist and everything. I'll tell you guys about it. The girls, I'm going to text my girls later and tell them that Dad made smothered pig tonight, and they'll be very jealous. Oh, anyway, so you guys are all saying hi to each other. The animals you're going to see in tonight, the Pamela Lofts. Let me go to the iPad here and talk a little bit about the author. So Marcia, actually, she was born in Tacoma. She's done, she was a writer and school librarian in Bainbridge Island, where Barbara Helen Berger, that we listened to last night, also lives. She also lived in the Cook Islands at Rarotonga, wow, as a volunteer school librarian. And she's a member of the Pacific Northwest Writers Conference, which is, I think, where I met her. Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators. She has book designation for Whistling Dixie, and then she won the Washington State Children's Choice Picture Book Award nominee for SNAP. Now, that is an award that every author, illustrator who's nominated for it in their own state wants to win, because it's not voted on by adults or professional teachers or publishers or scholars or anything. It's voted on by the kids in the schools who read your books, and they're the ones who vote. And oh my gosh, is it a competition? Let's see. She's done the one we're going to read tonight, Wombat Stew. And that's been one of Wombat Stew originally was only published in Australia. This is the book Snap. If you ever have a chance to see it, it's Sasha Hutchinson did the illustrations, and it's like collage type paperwork. Yeah, it says the material in this Australian import to turn the most exhausted parent into Scheherazade. It's a really wonderful book that won that, but that's not the one we're reading tonight. We're doing Wombat Stew, and Pamela Lofts is the illustrator. She was based out of Alice Springs in the Northern Territory of Australia. She has done Wombat Stew and then an Aboriginal story you can see there. And then Sail Away by Mem Fox and Koalaloo by Mem Fox and some other books. Remember we read Wilfred Gordon MacDonald Partridge about the boy that helped the lady find the things there because her memory was lost. That was by Mem Fox. And so this illustrator has done similar things. So you might see some things that are similar. Yay! Let's see who else has checked in. Oh. Jay Whitty's here. Hi! Welcome! Yay! Oh, Gloria's here. I'm so glad you're here, Nathan, and that it makes you happy to be here. This is really what storytelling is all about. When I was a school librarian for those 18 years, the first 17, even when I was in the classroom, the kids would, the one thing that I really hung it over their head, they would deal if I had to take away choice time, or they would deal if I had to take away some other type of thing, or recess. But if I had to take away, sit down and listen to a story time, they fell apart. They really did. And when I was a school librarian and toward the end of my career there, they started to tell me that I really didn't need to spend part of the library time reading to the kids, that I could just do this lesson and then they could check out books and that could, da-da-da. And I went like, no, that's not what this is all about. The whole thing about literature and what it does for, in so many ways, is a discussion for another night, because I'll go on forever. And another button on the volume. Oh, okay. Oh, and Deirdre's here. Are you getting Gloria straightened out on the audio? Good, I hope so. Donna's here. Hey. Yes, it's a pretty funny story. Gretchen Groupie. All right. Little fuzzy Aussie friends, yes. Good. Excellent. All right. Okay, so folks, we're going to read the story. I'm just checking to see if anybody else is here that I missed. Julie E's here. Yay. Janice is here. Gloria. Oh, yeah. We have actually had pretty good weather up here in the Northwest right now. It's been kind of foggy. I've been going out. Janice, thank you for the words of encouragement when you saw my shorts. I made it to the beach, you guys, today. I walked down to the beach. Now, you might not know about this, but I live on Taylor Bay. But it's about a 5-minute walk down to the beach. And the last part is very steep. And I haven't been able to go because of my knee. I made it down to the beach and back. Yes. All right. Enough of that. So we're heading down to the book. Let's see if we can get here. Come on. There we go. Wombat Stew. All right. By Marcia Vaughan. Illustrated by Pamela Lofts. I will try my best on the Australian accent. It's not always perfect. But, I don't think any of us are Australian, so we don't have to worry about that. You know what? Perfection is just procrastination in disguise. So says Jasmine Star. One day, on the banks of a billabong, a very clever dingo caught a wombat and decided to make Wombat stew, gooey, brewy, yummy, chewy, wombat stew. Platypus came ambling up the bank. "Good day, Dingo," he said, snapping his bill. "What's all that water for?" "I'm brewing up a gooey, chewy with the fat wombat," replied Dingo with a toothy grin. "If you ask me," said Platypus, "the best thing for a gooey stew is mud. Big blops of billabong mud." "Blops of mud?" Dingo laughed. "What a good idea! Right-o, in they go." See, my accent's all over the place. So Platypus scooped up big blops of mud with his tail and tipped them into the billy can. Around the bubbling billy, Dingo danced and sang, "Wombat stew, gooey, brewy, yummy, chewy, wombat stew." Waltzing from the shade of the ironbarks came Emu. She arched her graceful neck over the brew. "Oh ho, Dingo," she fluttered. "What have we here?" "Gooey, chewy wombat stew," boasted Dingo. "Oh, if only it were a bit more chewy," she sighed. "But don't worry. A few feathers will set it right." "Feathers?" Dingo smiled. "That would be chewy. Right-o, in they go." So into the gooey brew, Emu dropped her finest feathers. And around the bubbling billy, Dingo danced and sang. Join in, everybody. "Wombat stew, crunchy munchy for my lunchy, wombat stew." I changed the words on you. Sorry. Old Blue Tongue the lizard came sliding off his sun-soaked stone. "Silly Dingo," he hissed. "There are no flies in stew. Can't be wombat stew without crunchy flies in it." And he stuck out his bright blue tongue. "There's a lot to be said for flies," agreed Dingo, rubbing his paws together. "Right-o, in they go." So Lizard snapped 100 flies from the air with his long tongue and flipped them into the gooey, chewy stew. Around and around and around the bubbling billy, Dingo danced and sang. "Wombat stew, crunchy munchy for my lunchy, wombat stew." Up through the red dust popped Echidna. "Whoa, wait a bit, not so fast," he bristled, shaking his red disc from his quills. "Now, I've been listening to all this advice, and take it from me, for a munchy stew, you need slugs and bugs and creepy crawlies." Dingo wagged his tail. "Why, I should have thought of that. Right-o, in they go." So Echidna dug up all sorts of creepy crawlies and dropped them into the gooey, chewy, crunchy stew. The very clever Dingo stirred and stirred, all the while singing. "Wombat stew, hot and spicy, oh so nicey, wombat stew." Just then, the sleepy-eyed koala climbed down the scribbly gum tree. "Look here," he yawned. "Any bush cook knows you can't make spicy stew without gum nuts." "Leave it to a koala to think gum nuts," Dingo laughed and licked his whiskers. "Right-o, in they go." And into the gooey, chewy, crunchy, munchy stew Koala shook lots and lots of gum nuts. "Ah!" cried Dingo. "Now my stew is missing only one thing." "What's that?" asked the animals. "That wombat." "Wait! Stop! Hang on, Dingo. You can't put that wombat into the stew yet." "Why not?" "Oh, you haven't tasted it." "Righto, I'll taste it." And that very clever Dingo bent over the billy and took a great big slurp of stew. "I'm poisoned," he howled. "You've tricked me." And he dashed away, deep into the bush, never again to sing Wombat stew, gooey, brewy, yummy, chewy, wombat stew. And if you read music, you know that I did not follow the tune. I made up that song years, probably. Let's see, Annalina's, I got this book from Marcia in 1992. So you know I made up the song at least 1992 before I managed to read the back on the back. I can read music, but I better with my own if I had a keyboard in front of me. But that's that. And that is Wombat Stew. So fun. The illustrations, if you take a look at this, guys, that she did. Let's see if I can get them 50 here and zoom in on that. So it's, I'm going to bring it up because it's not zooming for me for some reason. There. Look at the details that she does. And I'm pretty sure it's with colored pencil that she did these. And the billy can. And there's a kookaburra up in the tree. I'm just glad Jilly Cube's not on because she'd probably get me about my accent. Aren't these, I mean, that platypus. Oh my goodness. So it's just so much fun, and the different animals. So tomorrow night, I've already posted what it's going to be, and it says Going to Grandma's, and the book is by Graham Bayes, and it's called My Grandma Lived in Goula, Gulch, and it's all done in verse. It will take a little longer than this one, and I'm hoping to maybe you can draw along. There'll be some sepia tone ink drawings and some other parts, but to see the combination and the different interpretations of the animals, like look at that emu. Isn't she just the best? I mean, I love it when she comes in with her feathers and she arches her neck, and look at that. Look at the look on her. I mean, to die for those eyelashes, really? Seriously? Are a wombat and a quokka the same? I don't know. And okay, somebody put in the chat if they know. I have no clue. I have to look that one up. Okay, you just gave the librarian an assignment, Julie E. Dangerous task, Oh, it can be rough in our house. My husband, who likes to, when he was in 8th grade, memorized the Guinness Book of World Records and likes to read the Oxford English Dictionary. Yeah. Oh, and me, the librarian. Oh, yes. I'll have to look that up. Donna, I'm so glad that you think it's a refreshing break. That's really what this is meant to be. This is meant to be something fun and something relaxing. And I, you know, uh, it, the hardest part for me is limiting myself on not going too elaborate on the opening thumbnails and all that stuff that I want to place. Finding the books to read and to do is kind of what I've done for years, and it's nice to see I still have that someplace in my memory bank, and that I hope I get to share something with some of you that maybe you haven't experienced or you haven't seen, or books that are not always out there. So he says my Aussie accent was great, but yeah. You're kind, Nathan. You're very kind. Oh, yeah. So I think, too, what I'd like to do one night, and Angie had said she was thinking about what she was doing on revising her channel. One of the things I'd like to do is go back and revisit some of the art things that we've done, like the Sumi A, and the drawing on the right side of the brain. It might be really fun with some of these Australian animals to do that in drawing on the right side of the brain. You broke your torch. When you read that, then it shot out like 10-inch flames. I was like, okay, stand back from Angie. She's got her flame going. Oh my goodness. Everybody, I tell you, it's just, I have to say thank you so much for being here with me on this. On this journey. It's just a delight. I look forward to it. It has really revitalized a lot of what I was doing, and given me something to look forward to do, other than trying to sort out other things and letting Ricochet Rabbit take over my brain. This gives me some focus, and those of you who know who Ricochet Rabbit is will understand completely and get that. You're of the age, if you remember Ricochet Rabbit cartoons, you will understand. Ping, ping, ping! Ricochet Rabbit. That's me. Oh, I'm glad you liked it, Jay Whitty. I really, really liked it. I'm going to go back and watch the videos that I missed, Julie E's and Jay Whitty's, and I missed some other ones. So after the board meeting, which is starting in 2 minutes, so I have to go and sign off. But I'm going to go back and wind down and watch those. So everybody, thank you so much for being here tonight. And it really is special to have you come into my studio to listen to my stories and to enjoy and celebrate the art in the story and the story in the art. So until the next time, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around you, trust me. But the first place to look is in your mirror, and you'll find it looking right back at you. So until then, see you later.